Hey guys, I am DM Zone. This is Gamer's Oasis. Let's get into it. Okay guys, as you can see, I was a little shocked and stunned by this too. Very crazy. I don't even really know what to think about this. We'll get back into that a little bit later. Real quickly, I want to do some what this video is about. I talk about the fact that I have a pathway to a blueprint that I don't want to purchase off of the auction. I'm going to talk about that later in this video, but first let me get some housekeeping or cleaning or whatever you want to say done. So I've been making these videos and I wanted to tie them in with still waiting on supplies, and I believe that's a very important element to the crafting. I wanted to be able to get 500 successes, and I wanted to be able to tie that into the thing so you can see how as you turn these in more and more, you get less and less, but you still are getting a lot of skills. I feel like that's a great story to tell. So, you know, when you are very skilled and you have a blueprint that's in the 70% or so for QR, then you can go ahead and start doing like 1,200 crafts, and you get, you know, 45 to 47% or something like that, 43% in that ballpark. And I feel like at that point in time, you can do like some other people are doing, where they do 1,200 crafts in a row to get that 500 successes, which is perfect. Now, as you can see in the bottom right-hand corner over here, I have my counter for still waiting on supplies. Back when I first did this video, this was during the mayhem time, and I was very busy and very distracted, and I was just like, get raw footage out there, we'll worry about the rest of it later in the editing. Well, this is what this is. It turns out that I don't need 2,000 craft runs to be able to get still waiting supplies. I only need about 1,500 at my skill level. Later on, when you are better crafted, like I said, you can do it about 1,200. That's very important. I think that's going to be a very good thing. If I do this at times 3 speed or 300% speed, you're going to find on my hunting videos that ends up being a good amount of time for 15 ped on the Buchan. That gets it done in about the right amount of time. That works out great. But in the crafting, that is not the case. It ends up being about a 25-minute video, which is a little longer than I want to do. I know we're getting too far off into the weeds, but if you make that a 500% or 5 times speed, it ends up being a 15-minute video. And I believe that the 1,200 craft runs are going to fit nicely into that envelope with time-wise. It's going to hit about that 17-minute mark, I'm guessing. Just a guess. I haven't made these videos yet, so I don't know, but that's what my theory is. Anyway, so now that we got that housekeeping out of the way, and if you want to use this, other creators that do Entropy Universe, please feel free to do that. Just, you know, throw a little credit my way. Say, hey, you know, DM Zone over here, Gamer Oasis, or whatever, you know, is, and you have the general idea. Rising tide raises all ships, right? It's well, anyways, I believe in abundance, so use that if you wish. Okay, so back into what I'm talking about. This pathway. I don't have my paper with me, so we'll just have to bear with me as I talk about the first part of this pathway. There is a blueprint I want to get, but I basically am refusing to buy off the auction. If I saw it super cheap, I would buy it super cheap, but it's never going to be super cheap because people really like this blueprint and they really want to pay for this blueprint. They want to be paid for this blueprint, I should say. So I wanted to go ahead and talk about the pathway to this. And I know I could go buy the last blueprint in the series and no one would care about that blueprint, and it'd probably be 2-3 ped. I get it. I'm not foolish to this, and if someone wants to beat me to the punch and go do that, I guess that's what could happen. But my channel's never been about that. My channel's been about the process, the journey going through this as it relates to newer players. And this is the process that a newer player could do if they'd done the research to find out potentially where at one time the pathway to this blueprint was. Is it still there? I don't know. So, basic filters is a starting point for explosive projectile 1. but you just can't go from point A to point B. There's actually more than one route to there, but the route I'm probably going to end up taking, due to the difficulty of the components to get this, is going to be a 4-step process. And I have completed step 2 of this process. Step 1 is the basic filters. Run the basic filters until you get the auxiliary socket. Like, use this right here. That blueprint right there is the blueprint that will take you to the next step in the chain, which I won't go into here in this moment, because if you want to do the research and do it, then go ahead, more power to you, but I'm not just going to make it easy for you. Anyways, there is a step 3, there is a step 4, and then you can have the wondrous thing that is explosive projectile 1, if it still drops. I've heard there's a rumor that it doesn't drop anymore, and this could all be fruitless, but if it is, that's going to be a story too, even though I went down this way for a while. There's also other blueprints I want to run for unobvious reasons, which I will get into at some point in time in the future. So, you know, some of the things that's going to be going on that's a little different in the channel well, not a lot, frankly, but I'm going to be moving a little bit from planet to planet. One of the things that being able to do Easter Mayhem has shown me is that I need to expand beyond Arcadia Moon. That while having all that PED is great, there are other options that I can use or along the way, and there's certain combinations of things that may not be so obvious. My Bukin is now tier 2, so I can start putting enhancers on it and actually start to creep into some other damage levels. I have a bullseye 8 and a long shot 4. If I'm not forgot those right, they're both the laser and the scope unlimited. So those are no more markup for me ever on those, and they're 85 percentile ones. So that's both very good and empowering. There are other things I want to do. I'm going to start working probably sooner versus when I originally thought about this, but I'm going to be working towards Cyrene and doing the plates there, because those plates are going to give me more ability, specifically in the Easter Mayhem. They give you really good impact damage resistance. They give you a chance to be for miss block or for mischance or block the shot type of thing, and that all starts when you start getting to the officer levels. So I'm going to be here very shortly talking about where I am in that process to do that. One of the other missions I want to do is the Viceroy armor, and most people don't really maybe know this, but Viceroy is a very good set of armor. It's 14 for the base level. Goes all the way up to like a not very high, I want to say like a 1922 or something like that in that. So it's not like the best necessarily damage, but it's good damage. And one of the things that's big about it is that stupid fly around me. I don't know why. I live near like 7 feedlots, so they're like all over the place. Really? Don't know if I'm going to leave that in. Stupid fly. Anyways, yeah, it's a. I live next to 7 feedlots, so we have a lot of flies, and they, of course, are all carrying crap with them, literally. So, yeah, it's Viceroy. So, starting out with a 14, if you had that plus the level 1 officer plates, the non-adjusted officer plates, I think that's like 5 points total of additional protection, 4 points. So that takes you like 18, 19. That'd be the same thing as wearing Ghost Armor. I think it's going to be a lot more approachable than Ghost Armor, and it's going to make for a better story. And Ghost Armor is not generally unlimited, and the unlimited stuff is way more expensive. Yeah, I think that this is going to, I mean, not that Viceroy is cheap, it's certainly not cheap. I think that's going to make for a good video, and it comes from Planet Arcadia, which means my guy will look good in it, and I can wear my alien head, continue that process. So those are basically two different plants, two different things, both working really well together. On a third area, I have found a place to get a weapon that's for 106% versus the typical 128 to 132%. And you know, when you're looking at synergy like that, that makes a lot of sense. So next Easter, look for that unveil. What am I going to be doing? So I've been starting this outside of like those three things. I'm going to, well, really four if you count an ammo supply, so I can step into Easter Mayhem with at least 200 PED and ammo, 300 to be better. But anyways, what else am I going to be doing? Well, I've been starting this series called Weird Entropia, and I really like the series. I feel like it gives a good definition to what things are, but I want to go deeper and more into it. So like I want to have like actual lokes that I can put in the description below to help people find these locations if they need to. Beyond that, I want to have I want to do the same thing with creature spotlights and with missions. Like not only showing the step and step of most missions that I'm doing, like the repeatable ones especially, or if it's something like Siren, where you have 3 different main types of missions, and then they have subtypes for each one. So for example, Siren has arc badges. Arc badges are used to upgrade your plate, gain faction with the basic group. This allows you to buy different things, access different missions, and that normal faction stuff. Okay. Then you have Siren mission tokens. I'm not 100% sure what they are. I know there's a vendor. I know that vendor sells some stuff like campfires and whatnot, but I don't know if that's everything or if that's even important. I don't, or unlimited. I don't know, but it's a lot of Siren tokens. It's like 500 or 1,000. So that's pretty substantial. I know these Siren tokens can be sold, and they have astronomical markup. So something with them has to do with value, but I haven't researched into that far enough. And then there's a lot of skill stuff. For example, I did one just today, and it gave 44 PEC worth of weapon handling. That is a lot of PEC of weapon handling. If you had the ability to do that for 10 days, that would be 4.4 PED of weapon handling. If you did that for 100 days, I mean, that's a lot of days, obviously, that is 44 PED. I want to say, well, if I remember right, an old Stevie B video talked about that 10 PED would give you 1,870 skill points if you started out with 1. So if you had 44 PEC, you might get to what, 3,000-4,000 points of skill in weapon handling. That could literally launch you into the stratosphere with a lot of stuff, because that's a lot of skills. That's a lot of professions that skill touches. Anyways, and it's not necessarily the fastest one. I think I have right at like 3,700 laser weapon technology and close to 2,000 rifle, but I'm only at like 1,600 weapon handling. And weapon handling probably does more for more weapons than even rifle does, or laser weapon technology does, because basically that's pistols, rifles, that's plasma, that's, you know, all the other BLP, laser, all those, you know. Gauze was the one I couldn't think of. That's the one I went brain dead on. Anyways, guys, so that could be very, very powerful. Most of the skill ones are not that powerful. Most of them are pretty weak sauce when it comes to things. But still, you do it every day, I think it'd be beneficial. So I'm going to be doing missions that talk about each one of these to try and give like what you have to do, where you have to go, how much skill it is, that type of stuff. The components you need. So when you get on Planet Siren, you don't necessarily start getting rid of things like jagged teeth and lesser claws because they have great markup, and you don't realize you need these for other things. And then, that might give you the leg up you're looking for. Anyways, I don't know, that's kind of the direction I think I'm going to go with this whole thing. It's been a long day of playing Entropy Universe this last week or so, going and doing a lot of sweating, and between my training so that I had the ability to spend time doing this, there was a lot. I won't have this kind of time moving forward, but it was very nice. So anyways, guys, that's kind of what I'm thinking about moving forward with this. I got this stupid fly. He's just sitting here taunting me right here. Can I get him at the end of the video? No, I can't get him. Anyways, watch call. Okay, guys, so real quickly, I'm going to show you the global a little bit before, a little bit after. This is in the Acapulco area of Calypso. This was during Mayhem. This was one of 2 globals I did, fairly close to back. They were actually the same day. Mining, it was my first ever global in mining, and was so important for me to be able to get so much still waiting on supplies done, because it allowed me to get so much of the 500 success, because I got oil and I got Listerium. I didn't have to buy any of that, which was amazing. I just bought the probes. Anyways, here's the global. Tell me what you guys think down below. Okay, guys, well, that was the global. Nice little 50-ish petter type of thing. Love that. Had a couple miners that went along with it, so it wasn't just like 2 big spikes and that was it. There was a lot of 30, 40 petters along the way that really pushed this or advanced this along. My crafting skills gained a whole lot during this period of time, as well as my combat skills, which was super awesome. So if you want to see more videos like this, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe. If you guys want to follow along and subscribe, that'd be great. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video, and keep earning that pet. Bye.